What's going on, people, and welcome to the Blue Steel Podcast Show. I'm your co-host, LV Live, along with my co-host, Jeff. Welcome back, people. Welcome back. We are back better than ever. We've been kind of on hiatus, getting through the holidays, July 4th, hot dogs, cheeseburgers, barbecue chicken, and all that good stuff. But we're back, people. 10 pounds heavier, but we're back.
Yes, sir. How you been, brother?
I've been good, man. Been good. You know what I mean? I'm just eating cheeseburgers every other day. If I have another cheeseburger, man, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, man. Stay off that. You can't. You got to be summer slim. You can't be. You got to get rid of the winter chub. A little chubbiness in the winter. So
Yeah, man, I'm
yeah,
trying.
stay away from that. Stay away from that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, people, welcome back to our show. Uh, it's been a long time, but please hit us back. Hit that like, share, subscribe button. Please continue to come through, support, reach out to other people, let people know about the show. We'll do our part also, but please continue to hit us up. If you have any questions, any statements, anything you want to talk about, or anything suggestions you have for the show, or whatever you have, please hit us up at bluesteelshow@gmail.com. That's bluesteelshow@gmail.com. But I was just talking about July 4th and the fireworks, and there's been a lot of fireworks in the NBA, Jeff.
Oh man, NBA is literally taking over everything at this point. Everything. Um, there's so much. We could spend an hour and a half just talking about all the stuff that's happened in the last few weeks in the NBA, man. It's insane. Um, I mean, Kawhi's move. It's insane. There's
But
just so much going on.
Jeff. Let's stay on that. Kawhi's move. Now, hey, Jeff. Listen, I gotta say, I saw that coming. I knew he was going back home. I knew he was going back to LA. That's where he always wanted to be. He did not want to be in San Antonio no more. He went to Toronto just to get out of San Antonio. No one saw Toronto winning it. No one saw that coming.
Right,
So I always knew he was going back west.
right.
So, but what we didn't see is the addition of Paul George. That came out of left field. No one saw that coming.
That was a major move, man. That's crazy. I can't. It's still crazy to me. Man, that was a powerful move. He basically was like, "Y'all get Paul George, I'm coming." I don't know if he gave him a deadline, but I'm sure he did. And funny thing, man, kind of off subject, but Sam Presti, man, like, is he that good of a GM? Like, as far as running teams, he should be like a scout. Because he did a great job drafting these guys. None of these guys are there, though. Ton of, but anyway, just a big move by OKC. I think they were scared of the Lakers dominating, so they just gave him away. To me, man, I don't even know. I don't know what OKC is doing, but it's a great move by Kawhi as far as being a powerful move and flexing his muscle and surprising everybody with that, like you said. So,
I mean, flexing his muscle is exactly what you did, but he flexed his muscle even more, Jeff, because he only signed a 3-year deal.
well, I think you would have did that with anybody. So the way the NBA works, you get your 10th year, you can get 30. I think it'll be 35. I think it's 35% of the cap. So he does his 2 years, opts out, and obviously he can go where he want. But wherever you go, if he stays there, which I probably assume he will, he's lost a lot of money. He's lost like $140 million with these moves he's made. He can get 35% of the cap, and he just could keep maxing out. Probably do. I told you this before. Cats are going to do shorter deals now. I said this a few months ago, as they control the power. Shoot. You could if you're a superstar in the NBA, you control a period, but you control more of your money if you do a shorter deal because they're going to keep paying you. It ain't like they ain't going. Who's not going to give you a max contract? The Clippers. They won't give you a max deal in 2 years. So KD got a max deal off of Achilles tear. So that's what they're going to start doing. A lot of these, the top heavy, the super duper stars, not the all star players, the superstars are going to do that. So,
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think that's a smart move. I think LeBron kind of set that up when he first went back to
yep,
Cleveland. He kind of had that short deal, and I think guys started to see like, listen, man, I'm not signing these long-term contracts. I'll give you 2 to 3 years to see what you're gonna do. Pretty much 3 years, and if you don't get things together, then I'm out. I
Yeah.
think that solidified that. But Kawhi has had the NBA waiting. He is putting the league in a chokehold, Jeff, and letting it be known this is what I'm doing. And now I think everything with the championships roll through LA. It depends on what those teams do and how well they pretty much mesh, both of those teams. But I think the trophy is going to be running through Los Angeles next year. And I think those two teams are going to be at the top of the league. But we got to travel east to see the heist. And I'm going to call it a heist that the Brooklyn Nets did to the New York Knicks. They literally, they literally put on a ski mask, Brooklyn style, and went over the Brooklyn Bridge to Madison and said, look, KD's coming to Brooklyn with Kyrie. If you got a problem with it, say something. And left.
Right.
And now KD and Kyrie are in Brooklyn on Flatbush Avenue in Nostrand. Tuck your chains, everybody, because that's what they're doing. Brooklyn just pulled off the big... And you know what? Let me say this. I know I said a heist, but to people who are in the NBA know that these things were trickling down. There were little whispers going on. And I think that they started leaning towards Brooklyn because a lot of people just do not want to play for James Dolan. That's just the facts, people. Nobody wants to play with that guy. So because of that, they were able to get them in Brooklyn. And as a Knicks fan, when I mean I'm devastated, but I'm too loyal. I can't help it, Jeff. I bleed blue and orange. And now I just don't know where we're going to go from here, what we're going to do. I mean, Jeff, we signed Julius Randle. Are you kidding me? That's a joke.
Yo, I got Julius Randle. That's good.
Jeff, knock it off, okay? Julius Randle, come on, man. He's a journeyman. I don't care how many numbers he put up with New Orleans. No one cared. That's why AD wanted to get up out of there.
Right.
But Jeff, did they not pull off a heist, my man?
Yeah, they did, man. I mean, I was. Once you think about it, you're not like shocked, but I was still surprised, man. That they decided to to go there. And it was all on KD. It was wherever KD wanted to go. That's where Kyrie was going to go. You know what I mean? So I guess it's like the organization better. I mean, obviously they're better ran than the Knicks. They have been. This is a new regime with the Knicks, so you got to give them opportunity. But to miss out on what everybody thought was basically, I don't want to say a layup, but a little teardrop, in the lane, and the Knicks threw that thing into the 27th row and then took the ball and left. You know what I mean? So it's yeah, that was big, man. I mean, that was a major move from Brooklyn's standpoint. In terms of getting to both of those guys, KD will be back next year or maybe end of this year, but big time move from Brooklyn. So home of Biggie and Jay-Z. So I guess they represent a little bit. So
Yeah. I just can't. So that was first and 10. People second and 5. Houston. The Beard and his Brody are back, Jeff.
Yeah.
Yo, bro, listen, I'm telling you, look, I didn't see that coming either. But
They was talking about Miami.
But Jeff, here's my question to you and to the viewers and people that are listening. Here's my question: how do they coexist? They both need the ball in their hands. The only way it worked at OKC was because Harden came off the bench. People don't understand. Harden was 6th man a year.
Right. He was young.
He was young. They're both MVPs, Jeff. They need
Right.
the ball in their hands 24/7. And people don't understand. James Harden had the ball in his hands just as much as Westbrook. People just don't realize because Westbrook's triple doubles. But he has the ball. That's D'Antoni's offense.
Yeah, that's the whole offense.
There's got to be one engine. Steve Nash was the engine. There's got to be one engine. You can't have two engines in a car. And Jeff, I just see this blowing up. To me, I don't see this working at all, Jeff.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are pumped up about it. I agree with you 100%, man. I don't get. I hate. I mean, I think I've said this several times. I know I have. I hate the way that Houston plays basketball. It's literally just one on one, pick and roll one on one. James Harden dribbles the ball about 48 times in possession. So you think Westbrook is going to chill over there in the corner? You think he's going to sit there? Like, come on, man. I don't get it. It would have to take some ingenuity from D'Antoni. And the thing that's kind of weird is the way that Phoenix played versus the way Houston plays is totally different to me. I don't know if that's from Morey, just because of the stats. They think you should just shoot more threes and get layups or whatever that is. Dudes who never played basketball want to read something off a computer and tell you how to play. And I don't know why the system like that, but they have to change it because that's Westbrook is not going to be with that. You know what I mean? He's not going to stand on the wing. You know, only reason Chris Paul kind of had to do is because Chris Paul is just getting old. He's not as good. But if it was 5 years ago, Chris Paul would have been fighting. You know what I mean? So I don't see this working at all, man. On top of that, they like to shoot threes, right? Houston likes to shoot threes. You know what not Russell Westbrook's 3-point percentage has been in the last 2 years? 29.8 and 29%.
Wow, but Jeff, that's not his game. Jeff, his game is driving and dishing, rebounding, steals, assists. Like that's his game. So that's why I'm saying I just don't see it working. But the problem why it's not going to work because Russ he'll give you the ball if he feels he can trust you. But the problem is that James
he wants the ball back.
He wants the ball back. Exactly, Jeff. You nailed it. But James Harden needs the ball in his hands to dribble, cross, hezzy, step back 4 steps, pull up for 3. That's his game.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got to be a lot of standing around. Like Russell, I can see a lot of arguing. I can see a lot of fighting. I can see a lot of finger pointing. I could see D'Antoni getting fired because this is just not going to work. And they have good pieces still. They still got P.J. Tucker. They still got Eric Gordon, who I love. They still got Capella. So they have a solid team that can really be formidable in the West. But the problem is you got the same type of player, the same type of guy. And no matter how close they are as friends, when you start losing games, that honeymoon period dies away quick.
Right.
You know, and I just don't see them coexisting. Now, to me, if Russ would have went to maybe someone like the Knicks, it would have worked.
Right.
Because you have a lot of guys, young guys, who probably would have fell in line to what he does and let him be ball dominant.
Right.
But when you're around a team like the Rockets who have won without him, it's going to be hard for those guys to really fall in line, especially with a guy who's like a rough rider, like a P.J. Tucker. You know what I mean? He's a goon. He's like a he's like a Draymond. He's not going to really be too so it's just different type of attitudes in the locker room, different type of personalities. It can really, really just be a disaster in Houston, man, next year.
Here's my other thing with that. So Russell Westbrook is probably the one thing you can always love about Westbrook is that dude plays hard every game. pretty much every possession. So he pushes the ball so much. So I looked up the pace of these two teams last year, and I don't know exactly 100% how it's measured, but Oklahoma City had the sixth fastest pace last year. Guess where Houston was?
Number one.
27.
Two.
No, Houston, exact opposite. 27. They played slow.
Oh wow, I thought they played faster than that.
No, but James Harden dribbles the ball too much for them to play fast.
Very true.
So I knew that. I thought they might be last. They were actually only 27th out of 30. But I mean, Detroit, Cleveland, and Memphis were under them. They're horrible for franchises. So their pace, like, I don't even see how this fits. You gotta redo everything to play with Westbrook. So I don't know, man. I don't. A lot of people love that. I'm not a fan of how Houston plays. I'm not a fan of the how they play basketball at all. Love Westbrook in terms of how hard he plays and things like that. I always say he should be playing the shooting guard role instead of a point guard. But we'll see what they do, man. I mean, I think D'Antoni get fired too myself, but like you said earlier, but I don't like it myself. I don't think it's gonna work.
But a question I have for you, Jeff, is that if it does not work here, so now we have to ask the question: is it KD? Is it Melo? Is it Paul George? Is it James Harden? Is it everybody's fault? Or do we have to look at Russell Westbrook? He's the point guard. And with the teams that he's had, he should easily be in the finals. He should have been at least in the finals a couple of times. But now we got to look at his play style, man. He's too ball dominant and too much of a control freak. And it's showing, it's not Jeff, it's not adding to wins. It's not adding to different trips to the championship. It's not adding to that. You got too many wing players who are great, possibly Hall of Fame players that you've played with, and you have not been able to take them to the chip. So now we got to really look at you as a player.
I would agree. I think his biggest problem is, until recently, he wasn't the best player on the team. Those were Durant's teams. He was the best player, but I think his problem, which is why I think he needs to play the two, he makes a lot of bad decisions in crucial times. He's kind of like Steph Curry does the same thing. Steph Curry's he makes a lot of bad decisions in crunch times too.
Hey, listen, don't get me on him. You know how I feel about that guy. Don't get me with him.
We talked about that before as well. So I think as a guard, as the lead guard, point guard, you have to make good decisions. But I don't think it's teams where it's great. But yeah, he's part of the problem. Absolutely, he's part of the solution and the problem. He's an enigma, man. Like he's you have to have a coach like Pat Riley, I think, in order to rein in Westbrook, have that cachet, or like a Phil Jackson. What they gonna listen to D'Antoni for? What D'Antoni won? Nothing. Won some regular season games. He never won nothing, so they ain't listening to him. So it'll be very interesting. It's literally gonna have to be them two. They have to change the offense and them two just really working together. They're supposed to be of that core team, that young team at OKC. They were supposed to be the Titans too, between them. So if Beckham, like I said, I don't think it'll work, but that's what they kind of banking on, and they want to play with each other, and you got this NBA duo thing now, and that's what they tried to get,
So real quick, before we move on to the next topic, Jeff, my question to you is this. With all this being said, with all these moves we done talked about, what happens to Chris Paul now? What happens to him and his legacy? What happens? Because he's got maybe a year or two left, Jeff. I don't care what that contract says. He's got really maybe a year or two left. And I think he's on his way out. What happens to Chris Paul, Jeff?
I think he's going to get traded somewhere. I don't know where, man. He makes so much money. I heard the Knicks recently, too.
No way.
He's getting paid. He's getting traded, though. He's not going to stay in OKC. He's not trying to stay there.
Either traded or buyout, right?
It's too much money for him to buy out. Like, if I'm him, you have to pay me all my money. Ain't no owner going to give you $140 million to walk out the door, and we just traded all this and that for to get you. And I don't think a team will buy him out. It's too much money. You get buyouts when it's like 1 year left. You got even if it's 20 million, it'll be like, all right, man, we'll give you 10 or 12. You agree to get bought out, but
He's not gonna
I
take
got
that.
100.
He's not
Yeah,
gonna take
he's
that.
not. If you got 140 million guaranteed, you have to give me $140 million check for me to walk out of here, bro. I'm
Right.
chilling.
Especially,
So
especially with him knowing, that this is his last. He's on his way out. He's gonna want all his money.
yeah, this is it. He got. I mean, he did a heist. Talking about a heist. He got a heist for that contract.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We like to do a segment on these GMs that they keep propping up and these stupid moves they make. Like that was the dumbest contract in 5 years, man, giving him all that money
Yeah.
for Morey in Houston. But anyway, I don't want to digress too much, but that's just ridiculous, man.
Right.
So we got third and short, and this it's the duo league now. Everybody got two superstars or a superstar with a star. That's how the league is, man. We originally was going to do top five. Let's do the top three duos you got right now in the league. What you got? What you got on that? This DL. What you have?
Jeff, this is easy. This is too easy, man.
It's easy. Okay.
Number one is we're going to La La Land, baby. We're going to La La Land. I love LA. We got AD. And the King. You don't like to call him that, but I call him that. The best duo that I've seen probably. The best duo I've seen probably since Magic and Kareem.
Even over Scotty and MJ?
Kobe and Shaq.
Right.
This might be Kobe and Shaq.
Yeah,
listen, this might be Kobe and Shaq. If they are Kobe and Shaq, they're unbeatable. I know I'm going to digress a bit, but I just want you, because Jeff, people forget how good that team was. That 2001 Lakers, people forget Shaq was in his prime Shaq. And then you had Kobe. You had Kobe on the uprise, who was an ascending star, coming into his own. I mean, oh man, they were unbeatable, man. I mean, I know they had some losses, but when they locked it in, Shaq was 40-10, guaranteed. 40-10. I'm gonna say it again, people. 40-10 if he wanted to, but he really was 30-10. 30-10 was Shaq. That's it. And then he was giving people elbows and concussions. A young Kobe 8 with the blowout. Yo, do you not understand? I'm a Knicks fan. I remember that team.
Oh yeah.
Yo, so what I'm saying is that
3 in a row.
Right. So yeah, come on, man. It hasn't been done since. So what I'm saying is LeBron and AD are special. They have possibly, because LeBron is kind of on the twilight of his career, LeBron I think has enough left in the tank. I think they can be that. Second, I'm gonna go. See, it's hard, man. I want to take out the Achilles, but you got to go with Kyrie and KD. You got to go with Kyrie and KD. And number 3, come on, man, it's Kawhi and Paul George. What you got?
Man, this is tough. Because there's like 4 that I want to fit in this.
Jeff, cut it out, Jeff. We know who your number 1 is going to be. Bring it home, Jeff. Bring it home.
Yeah, I'm a homer on this one. So you got LeBron and AD number 1. I'm putting Kawhi and Paul George number 2 though.
I like that.
I'm gonna talk more about them just because you talk more about AD and LeBron. Before that, I think LeBron this year is gonna have a killer year. And the reason I say that is because everybody keep talking about Kawhi, it's Kawhi's league, Kawhi, we're in LA. LeBron like, oh, I must have forgot. Remember that Roy Jones Jr. song?
Yes, sir.
I must have forgot.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I must have forgot who I am.
Yeah, and then he leaned back and got knocked out.
I think he's gonna have a killer year. Right. I I think LeBron's gonna have a ridiculous. See, LeBron averaged 28, 8, and 8 this year. Cat's talking like he was just a bum. I think he's gonna have a killer year. He ain't had no break in years. He's gonna come back and have a monster year. But anyway, I'm gonna put Kawhi and Paul George, PG-13, number two. I've heard a lot about meshing and things like that. All these teams got to mesh. When you bring in two all-star, two superstar players in any team, like Clippers did, and the Lakers, adding AD, and then adding all these other pieces. Everybody got to find new pieces. You ain't getting as many shots as you did with Kawhi and Paul George on the court. People act like the Clippers is just, it's easy. That ain't easy. You bring in two new guys, man. It's like having two transfers in high school. It's all American.
That's right.
Y'all gonna have to adjust.
That's
Even
right.
if y'all was really good, y'all gonna have to adjust. I don't care what it is. So, even if you pick up two new dudes and pick up basketball, you gotta adjust to their game. So they're gonna have to adjust, but they're gonna be. I mean, their defense is gonna be ridiculous next year. So I got them number two, and I'm not gonna put KD and Kyrie number three because they ain't gonna. KD ain't playing this year. I'm gonna put Steph and Clay number three.
Ooh, I like that.
I'm gonna get these men. Well, even Steph is hurt. Clay's hurt, but you got to give these men the respect they deserve. Put some respect on my name, like your boy said. You know what I mean? Like these guys, like they the best shooting duo ever, man. Like, and let's not act like Golden State fell into the Pacific Ocean. They still got a crew. And they're gonna be formidable. I mean, I don't think they'll be as good this year, but Stephen Clay can still shoot the ball like no other. We talked about Steph with his, haphazardness with the ball, but ultimately, I'm gonna put them there. Honorable mention KD and Kyrie. When they come back, they might be number one. Because KD's that good. But for right now, for this season, I'm gonna go with them as honorable mention number four. I know we only did top three, but I'm cheating a little bit. But that's what I'm gonna go with.
Nah, I like that. I like the. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. It's actually really good. Yeah, man. I mean, it's going to be exciting. The league is back. And I kind of like I like what the NBA did. But here's the thing, too, though, Jeff. We're talking about the year 2019, 2020. What about the season in the summer of 2021? The free agents that are going to be available. Oh, man. And I pray, I'm going to get the basketball gods in on this. That the Knicks get somebody because LeBron is going to be free. Greek Freak is going to be free. Kawhi Leonard's going to be free. I mean, the list goes on and on of the guys that are going to be available in the year 2021. That's going to be a great year, man. It's, 2 years away. I think
that. Talking about the year, 2 years from now. So
right.
Not next summer, the summer after that.
Right, summer after that. I'm saying, hey, man, listen, a lot of those guys are going to be free. It's kind of like what you stated about those short-term deals. And because of that, it keeps a lot of teams still in it because they're going to be vying to try to get those guys to pull over because those guys are still going to be very young. So I think that summer may be even better than this one. But, yeah, man. But we're getting to the end of our show, people. This is 4th and Goal. And once again, if you guys don't know, please pay attention to the boxing world. Because next Saturday night, we got a mega fight between a future Hall of Famer, Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao, against Jess Boy, Keith. Not even going to call him two-time. Keith, one-time Thurman. Jeff, I like Keith Thurman in this, but he better be careful because Manny is Manny for a reason. And I'm telling you right now, I found out there's no VADA testing. So now he opened the door for Manny to shoot up all the dope that he was using before in his neck, in his leg, in his arm. He's going to be roided out. And he's going to be knocking him out like he was knocking out Cotto on all them dudes. And then once they got him off the juice, or shall I say, Mayweather got him off the juice, the money man said, yo, man, you ain't going to be juicing with me. Man, he stopped knocking dudes out.
Yeah, he ain't been like 10 years. So
listen, Keith is crazy for that. but still, mega fight next week, Jeff. Your thoughts, my man?
Yeah, man, that's a great point. I remember reading that last week. I totally forgot about that. So you mentioned it. That's crazy. I don't even get it. But yeah, man, it's a huge fight. You like Thurman? Thurman should win. He should. You know what I mean? He didn't look great in his last fight. I mean, he was off almost for over 2 years or whatever. But Thurman should win. He's a younger, stronger fighter. He should win. I mean, literally, that's usually bigger, stronger, faster. You should win. So I haven't looked at the Vegas odds. I mean, you got Manny, so a lot of people might put on Manny. That'll impact this, how they have it. But Thurman should win. Um, like you said, he better be ready though, because I mean, Pacquiao's been in this game for years, like Biggie said. So he's not a rookie to these big mega fights, and that's his game. At this point in his career, he gets big checks and he fights big fights. It's his Thurman's biggest fight of his career, so he better be ready and come win it. But he should win. There's no doubt about it. He should win. If you can't get ready for this fight, you don't need to box no more. You can retire a legend, and that's what he should be out to do. I think he'll win. I mean, I'm gonna just go with a decision because I don't. He should knock him out for real. He should win, and win decisively, in my opinion. But I think we'll just win by decision. Close fight, but I think we'll win by decision.
Um, if this was old Keith Thurman, your boy two-time, he puts Pacquiao to sleep, man.
Right.
He puts Pacquiao to sleep. But this is not that Thurman. This is the new Thurman. This is the Thurman of he's become, as fighters like to say, he's become civilized, Jeff.
Right.
He's become civilized. He's no longer training in the sewer like Clubber Lang. doing pull-ups on the sewer pipes. He's no longer doing that.
Right.
He's living lavish. He's relaxing. He's sleeping on silk sheets. He's not sleeping on an air mattress. That's not what's going on with Keith Thurman. He's become too civilized, Jeff. And because of that, this is danger zones for him. The last fight, he didn't look like Keith Thurman. He was off for 2 years. I think he's talking a lot of smack. I don't know. This is a dangerous fight for him because Manny is a savvy vet. He's done this many a times. He's fought on the biggest stages. This is the biggest stage Keith Thurman would ever fight on. I can see it. If Thurman is Thurman, he should stop him. If not, and I honestly think Thurman doesn't want to continue to fight. I think he's done. I give him maybe another year. I think he doesn't want to fight Keith. I don't think he wants to fight Errol Spence, and he doesn't want to fight Terrence Crawford. He doesn't want to fight those young dogs.
No, he don't.
He'll rather fight Sean Porter and Danny Garcia again and get it out the way and retire.
Get some money and bounce.
And bounce. I don't think he has that dog in him. And that's what happens with fighters, Jeff. You notice they become civilized. Mm-hmm. They kind of fall back. They don't have that same grit. And then there's a young lion coming up who's hungry. His ribs is touching. He wants those $1 million checks. He wants to change his life. And he's trained a lot harder than you did, and he knocks you out. We saw it with Roy Jones.
Yeah, for years.
And it was nobody better to me that I ever saw fight than Roy Jones.
Yeah.
He was the most gifted fighter, even more gifted than Sugar Ray and all those guys. He was just on a different level than everybody, but he became civilized. He didn't really want to fight Tarver. Tarver was hungry, and Tarver knocked him out cold. And I've never seen Roy knocked out like that ever, but Roy didn't want it.
I was so hurt.
Yo, you was hurt. I was hurt too. But I knew Roy didn't have it in his eyes, man. He didn't want to fight.
No, he didn't want that fight.
And and Jeff, and as a fighter, boxing people, you gotta understand what boxing is. As a fighter, you always have to feel like you have something to prove. If you don't, then that's what happens.
You're knocked out.
You know what I mean? And I just don't know if Keith Thurman still has that hunger in his belly because he's eating. He's full. He's on the top of the hill. He's all bloated and stuff. And he's not that young, hungry lion no more, man. So I agree with you. It could be a decision. But he better be careful. Because this could be a dangerous fight for him.
No doubt, man. And just to sticking on boxing, there's a fight tonight, man. People check this out. Listen to the podcast tonight. Shakur Stevenson, man, a young dude from Newark, up and comer. I think he's 11-0. He's fighting tonight on ESPN. You know, he's with Top Rank, so 10:30 Eastern. So that's when the fight starts. So
yeah. Hey, man, good show, man.
Absolutely, brother. It's good to be back, man, and everybody be safe. Holiday, I know July 4th is over. We ain't hear about no NFL players blowing off their fingers, which is good. We'll be back. We'll be back with the visual. We trying to get that all corrected and everything. And appreciate y'all sticking with us. We going to keep this thing going, being more consistent. And, we're going to keep bringing it, man. Just in case y'all forgot, Blue Steel Show on YouTube. Instagram is Blue Steel Show. And Twitter is @ShowSteel. Of course, the email bluesteelshow@gmail.com as always. Appreciate the love and support, people. And DL, great show, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, my man. I'm going to holler at you, brother.
All right, later.
All right, later.